Grab your cup of coca, coffee, tea, or whatever you are sipping and get cozy. Here we share and start the morning with a positive vibe. So let's reset, recharge, and reconnect right here on Cup of Cocoa and Chat. I'm Princess, host of Cup of Cocoa and Chat. I'm Princess, host of Cup of Cocoa and Chat. Mm. Grab your cup of cocoa, coffee, tea, or whatever you are sipping and get cozy. Here we share and start the morning with a positive vibe. Mm. So let's reset, recharge, and reconnect right here on Cup of Cocoa and Chat. I'm Princess, host of Cup of Cocoa and Chat. I'm Princess, host of Cup of Cocoa and Chat. Princess, host and Cocoa and Chat. Princess, host and Cocoa and Chat. Grab your cup of cocoa, coffee, tea, or whatever you are sipping and get cozy. Here we share and start the morning with a positive vibe. So let's reset, recharge, and reconnect right here on Cup of Cocoa and Chat. I'm Princess, host of Cup of Cocoa and Chat. I'm Princess, host of Cup of Cocoa and Chat. So let's reset, so let go, go. So let's reset, recharge, and reconnect right here on Cup of Cocoa and Chat.
All right. Today is Mindful Monday. It is episode 24, Unfiltered Peace. The release date is Monday, September 22nd, 2025. So, our weekly theme is Living Unfiltered, Freedom in Every Season. After taking off the mask that we talked about last week, now we embrace freedom. Now we want to embrace freedom. Freedom to laugh louder, freedom to rest, freedom to grow, and freedom to be imperfect but present. So, our motivation for this episode, number 24, Unfiltered Peace, is found when we stop performing for approval and start embracing our unfiltered selves. True freedom is not about having it all, but about showing up as we are, in joy and rest and growth, and even in imperfection. When we release the filters, we create space for real connection, authentic laughter, and genuine peace. Okay? So let's get right into it, right? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you're tuning in. I am so glad you pressed the play button. Welcome to Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast, where we savor the moment, think deeply, and listen to real conversations that stir the heart. We share, start the week with intention, warmth, and truth. I am I am your host, Princess, and welcome to another Mindful Monday. Today, our mindfulness angle is on what comes after the mask come off, stepping into what's real, what's free, and what's true. Our topic is unfiltered peace. Now, before I go any further, I want to hope and I want to pray that if you listen to me last week or watch any of the lives from last week, that you have taken off at least one mask, right? At least one mask. And so now we're going to go into what will happen once the one mask has been released, or if you release more than one, that's fantastic. So let's bridge where we left off last week. We talked about mask, filters, performances, and those brave faces we put on for the world. Sometimes we put them on so often that we forget what it feels like to be real. But today we're leaning into the gift of being real, even when life isn't perfect. Now, here's the thing. When we finally set the mask down, we don't just drop the weight of it. We pick up freedom, freedom in every season. And I want to walk through the four freedoms with you today. So once you drop that mask, we want to pick up freedom. And we're going to talk about the four freedoms that you should be walking into. Because I believe each of them brings us closer to unfiltered peace. So, number one, the freedom to laugh louder. The freedom to laugh louder. There's something sacred about laughter, not the polite chuckle, not the let me keep it cute laugh, but that deep belly laugh that sneaks up on you, laughter that makes your eyes water and your stomach hurt. See, laughter heals, it connects us, it reminds us that we're human, and sometimes we silence our joy because we don't want to draw attention or we feel we have to be proper. But unfiltered peace gives you permission to laugh louder, to enjoy the moment without holding back. So laughter really is medicine, right? And sometimes it sneaks up on you in the most unexpected places. I remember a road trip. I remember a road trip. And every time I think about it, I laugh. I remember a road trip to North Carolina for my aunt Bobby's funeral. God rest her soul. My mother's younger sister, right? It was me, my brother, my cousin, and my niece. So my brother was driving. I was in the front seat, and my cousin and my niece were in the back. Now, y'all know me. I'm always trying to go live. I'm always trying to make content out of something. And even back then, I wasn't even on social media like I am now. But I would always pull out my phone, right? And so I was like, road trip. We were at the gas station, and my cousin said, "Girl, don't put me on that internet. My children be watching. I don't want nobody see me on there." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" So, my niece was cracking up. She was saying, "Girl, she always try to pull out the phone or whatever." Um, and I wasn't trying to go viral. I wasn't trying to do anything. I was just trying to catch the moment. But listen, they were hiding from the camera like I was about to broadcast them to the whole world. And it was so funny. It was so funny. My brother was irritated. I started laughing so hard. I had tears running down my face and I couldn't stop. That moment taught me, even in the middle of something as heavy as a funeral trip, joy found us. At least me for sure. Laughter found us. And it didn't matter who was watching or what was going on, because we had people on the live, and one of my nieces was on the live, and she was like, "Y'all are crazy." It didn't matter who was watching or what was going on. We let ourselves just be in the moment, especially me. That's the freedom of laughter. It connects us, it heals us, and when we let ourselves laugh louder, because the people that were on the live was like, "Oh, I know who that is," because they could hear her voice talking about, "Girl, don't put me on there, don't put me on there." So it connects us, right? It heals us. And when we let ourselves laugh louder without shame, without holding back, that's when we touch unfiltered peace. That is when we touch unfiltered peace. So think about the last time you laughed so hard you couldn't stop. You laughed so hard. It was hurting in the belly. Tears was rolling. Remember the last time you laughed so hard you couldn't stop. Because guess what? That's unfiltered living. That's peace breaking through. And it's great to have those moments. So now let's dive into number 2, which is the freedom to rest. The freedom to rest. Peace doesn't just show up when you're checking things off the list, right? Peace shows up in the pauses that we take, in the nap that you took and you didn't feel guilty about taking it. In the afternoon where you sat on your porch with a cup of cocoa, and it's that season now because today is the first day of fall. So where you sat on the porch with a cup of coffee or cup of cocoa or your tea, and you let yourself just be, right? You're in that moment. We live in culture
This is a
that
reminder.
worships
Have breakfast at 10 a.m.
productivity. We live in a culture
This
that
is a
work is
reminder. Have
productivity.
breakfast at 10
That's my
a.m.
Alexa in the back reminding me to eat. We live in a culture that worships productivity. So if you're not grinding, if you're not winning, you know, that's the message that you hear. "Oh my God, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do this," right? And you don't give yourself that time to rest. But I'm here to tell you, family, unfiltered peace reminds us that rest is holy. Rest is healing. Rest is freedom. I'll be honest with you. This is a hard this one is a hard lesson for me, rest, right? Because I push myself so much. My days are packed. Chores, exercise, recapping news articles on Facebook, clipping and editing videos for my Twitch. I have a uh, clip page called called Cut Up Queen, where I clip off of Twitch. So I go on Twitch, I watch the lives on Twitch, and I clip funny moments, right? So I have to edit those, I have to post those, right? And then I have to remember not to post on my regular page, to post it on my Twitch page. I mean, my Cut Up Queen page, right? So it's just a whole lot of things. Then I'm planning for the podcast. I'm planning for my live streams. I'm keeping up with my followers because I believe with having followers, when people post, I like to engage. So I spend about an hour just engaging with other content creators, right? And then I'm also trying to grow my subscribers on YouTube and Facebook. So I'm doing that engagement. And on top of all of that, I'm caring for my sweet but sick pup kid, my dog, my dog, my dog. I'm from Baltimore, my dog. So I am, caring for my dog. Um, and then there are always projects. I got projects here, projects there. I'm working on projects and they're all waiting in the wings for completion. So I'm busy and I'm pushing myself and I'm trying to find the time during the day to get everything done, right? But here's what I've learned. When my body starts talking to me, I have to listen. If I don't, it will affect my health. And if I'm no good to myself, I can't be good for anybody else. So rest isn't lazy, it's wisdom. Rest is me saying peace matters more than pushing, and that's freedom too. Okay. So sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is, I'm putting this down for now, and I'll pick it back up later. Because peace is not in the doing, peace is in the being. So you have to be present. And to be present, you have to be rested so that you can be present for yourself, for your family, and for others, right? So rest is an important freedom. So we got laughter as one of our freedoms. We got rest as the second freedom. And let's get into the third freedom, which is freedom to grow. You need that freedom to grow. You need that space to grow because we should be growing every day. So, growing isn't neat. It isn't neat. Growth isn't filtered. It comes with trial and error. It comes with trial and error, with scraped knees and failed attempts, with starting over more times than you've planned. I'll be real with you. I'm still working on this one as well. So that rest and that growing are two that I'm still working on it. God got me, but I'm still working on it, right? I beat myself up sometimes. I do, right? It's normal. It's human, right? If I don't get a new follower that today or tomorrow, or if my views are low, or if no one is engaging with my posts, I feel like I failed. I feel like I failed. Now I know I haven't failed, but I feel it, right? Because I'm human. I measure my growth against numbers. When they don't move, I get discouraged. And that's the human side of me. But I know that I have to give myself freedom to grow because I know that I'm growing every day. I know this. I know this. But it's hard for me to live in it, right? It's hard for me to live in it. So I'm still working on that freedom to rest and the freedom to grow. But unfiltered peace reminds me that growth is bigger than numbers. Growth is showing up again the next day. Growth is learning from what didn't work and trying something new. Growth is giving myself grace. And as long as I keep pressing forward, I'm growing, whether the numbers say it or not. So I know that, but can't, I can't rationalize it, I would say, right? So it's something that I'm still struggling with and I'm still working on. Because here's the beauty: unfiltered living makes room for mistakes and learning. So as long as you're learning, you're growing. And I learn from all of my experiences daily. I learn what to do, what not to do. I learn all of those things. I'm learning those things, right? You don't have to have it all figured out. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be polished. Growth is messy, but it's necessary. So when you give yourself freedom to grow, you stop beating yourself up for the missteps. You start to see them as stepping stones instead. And guys, I'm sorry, but that's Mercedes in the background. Um, she has a collapsed trachea from getting old. She's like 15. Um, because we always used harness, so I know that that isn't the reason why her trachea is collapsed, but it is. So she makes that noise. So please forgive me. So when you give yourself freedom to grow, you stop beating yourself up for the missteps. Excuse me. You start to see them as stepping stones instead. And each step, whether perfect or imperfect, is still progress. So don't beat yourself up as much. I know it's easily said than done, but don't beat yourself up as much because those missteps, you will start to see them as stepping stones. So take those baby steps. With those missteps, take the baby steps onto the stepping stones, and you will be great. All right, so now the fourth freedom, freedom to be imperfect but present. Freedom to be imperfect but present. This last one is probably the hardest one because we've been trained to aim for picture perfect. We scroll online, we see curated snapshots, we see highlight reels, everything filtered and flawless. But behind the scenes on each one of those things that we see when we scrolling, and I talked about this last week, it may take somebody 20 takes before they get that perfect one. And sometimes they still don't see it as being perfect. A lot of times they're just tired and they're like, okay, I'm going to let this go. Right? Um, People are using filters on their face. I never use a filter. That's one thing I do not do on social media. I come as my raw, authentic self. You like me or you don't. You take me or you don't, right? But here's the truth. Peace doesn't live in perfect picture. Peace lives in presence. Being imperfect but present means showing up anyway. It means taking that selfie, even if your hair is a lead. It means sitting at the dinner table, even if the dishes aren't all matching. It means choosing connection over curation. Like today, I still have my pajamas on, my headband from when I did my face routine. My pajamas are great. I love these pajamas. They're so comfortable. They're so comfortable. So I didn't come with a beat face and eyelashes and lip liner and all of that. I come as my raw, authentic self. So now this one, I'll be the first to admit I'm still wrestling with this one as well. So I got the laughter pad. I got the laughter one, the freedom for laughter down pat. The freedom to rest, I'm working on. The freedom to grow or to give myself grace, I'm working on it. The freedom to be imperfect but presence is one I am also working. I'm getting better. I'm getting better with it. But there's still some improvement. There's still room for improvement. Okay? Because I want things to be right as well. I want my shows to run smoothly. You know, that's not always the case. I'm caring for my sick dog. So I want to keep her close so that I can check on her. I don't want her to have a seizure when I'm up in my content room with the doors shut. So I have compromised. I do my show in my dinette area because I need to be close, right? So I want my shows to run smooth. I want my projects to look polished. I want my life to look put together. And sometimes that striving for protection robs me of just being present. So I know that I have to dial that back. So I'm getting better with this one. I'm getting better. But here's what I've learned. Peace is not imperfection. So I know peace is not imperfection. Peace is in presence. I know peace is in presence. But sometimes being imperfect but present means showing up to the mic even when the notes are perfect. It means logging on live even when my hair isn't done. It means being real with it means, I'm sorry, it means being real with y'all instead of waiting until everything looks flawless. Because the truth is, the people who love you don't need perfect. They need you. And that's and that's where unfiltered peace lives in you, right? So show up as your raw, authentic self. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Um, I've been thrown into it because I have to take care of my sick dog, and I have to watch her more closely. So from time to time, you will hear her in the background. And as long as you're hearing her in the background, I'm good, she's good. Okay? So let's take a pause and reflect. So today, I want you to ask yourself, where in your life can you laugh louder? Where in your life can you laugh louder? Where do you need to permit yourself to rest? Where do you need to permit yourself to rest? Ask yourself, where in my life can I laugh louder? Where do I need to permit myself to laugh? I'm sorry, to rest. Where in my life can I laugh louder? Where do I need to permit myself to rest? The third question I want you to ask yourself, where are you growing even if it's messy? So here's the question. Where am I growing even if it's messy? And lastly, and where can I trade perfection for presence? So that's 4 questions I want you to reflect on. Where in my life can I laugh louder? Where do I need to permit myself to rest? Where am I growing, even if it's messy? And where can I trade perfection for presence? See, family, that's where unfiltered peace lives. Once you have the answer to those 4 questions, that's where unfiltered peace lives. Not in the mask, not in the filters, but in the freedom of being fully, beautifully, and perfectly you. So I want you to reflect on that. So these are our practical takeaways from this conversation. Try a no filter moment today. You could either share a candid laugh or rest without guilt. Try a no filter moment today. Our second takeaway, replace one should with a want. So don't talk about I should do, talk about I want to do. Replace one should with a want. And the third takeaway is write in your journal or on a piece of paper, where can I feel freer this week? And how can I create more of that? Where can I feel freer from this week? And how can I create more of that? And I'll put the takeaways in the description of this podcast so that you can have those. I'll put the takeaways in the description. Now we're at our sip of the word segment where I give a scripture, an affirmation, or quotes. Sip of the word segment. So I want you to take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Do it again. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. And go ahead and repeat after me, whether you whisper it, if you're in your office listening to me, if you whisper it or say it strong or think it to yourself. I want you to repeat after me. I embrace peace by being fully me, unfiltered, free, and present in every season. I'm going to say it one more time. I embrace peace by being fully me, unfiltered, free, and present in every season. And that's our affirmation. Now for our scripture. Now the Lord is in the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And that's from 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Now to our wrap-up reflection. Here's my heart for you today. Laugh louder, even if the tears come with it. Rest when your body whispers that it's time. Give yourself space to grow, even when the numbers don't show it. And dare to be imperfect, but present, because your presence is the real gift. So from my heart to you, laugh louder, even if the tears come with it. Rest when your body whispers that it's time. Give yourself space to grow, even when the numbers don't show. And that goes for anything, social media, your job, your finances, whatever. Give yourself space to grow, even when the numbers don't show it. And dare to be imperfect, but present, because your presence is the real gift. And that's the journey toward unfiltered peace. So, all right, beautiful people, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Before I let you go, I want to remind you there's just one more episode left in this season of Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast. There's just one more episode left in this season. Episode number 25 will drop next Monday on the 29th. And then we'll take a short pause, just a week. But don't worry, Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast, will be back better than ever for season number 2 on October the 13th with episode 26. So mark your calendars. You don't want to miss it. If today's conversation gave you something to reflect on, I'll leave you with this final thought. Unfiltered peace isn't about getting life perfect. It's about showing up as yourself in every season with freedom to laugh, to rest, to grow, and to simply be present. Peace lives in those unfiltered moments. So this week, permit yourself to be free and watch how peace flows. Please share this conversation with someone who might share this conversation with someone who might need a little encouragement today. And if you found value in this space, I would love to have you join me next week for more conversations that nourish the mind and soothe the soul. I will be back next Monday, September 29th, with season 1, episode 25 of Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast. So pour your favorite drink and meet me right here for more good vibes. meaningful conversations, and purpose-filled moments. Until next time, take care of yourself, live in peace, stay encouraged, and as always, peace and blessings. I love you, and I mean it. Bye for now.